Hello there and welcome back to another video, right? So in today's one we're going to go through email deliverability. Probably not the most, I suppose, exciting topic, but by far one of the most important when it comes to email marketing, okay? It is the foundation of absolutely everything. Because if you think about it, if you have the best copywriter, the best designer, the best strategy, the best everything, if the email is the best in the world, it doesn't matter like a thing unless it lands in someone's inbox, unless someone can actually see it. No one can buy from an email unless they see it. So deliverability is so foundational to absolutely everything. More so now, like now more so than ever before, because of Google and Yahoo sender requirements that came back in February 2024. Okay, so if you're not familiar, email deliverability refers to the ability to land into someone else's inbox, basically like not landing in spam. So why does this actually matter, right? High deliverability makes sure that your beautifully designed, your really well written emails land into someone's inbox. It actually reaches your audience. Like poor deliverability, right, can result in your emails landing in spam and no one seeing them. Nobody wants that. It'll improve your open rates, click rates, conversion rates down the line as well. So it is, again, absolutely foundational. This is so important. And you're wasting your time going learning about strategy, going learning about design until you know the fundamentals of deliverability. So first things first is, how would you know if you actually had poor deliverability, right? So number one is declining open rates, increase in bounce rates, low click rates, high spam rates, high unsubscribe rates, and obviously, like last but not least, getting feedback from recipients as well, and internal testing. Sometimes if you're sending out a load of emails for an e-commerce brand, you might get, internal members saying, hey, this landed in my spam folder. Obviously that is a sign that your deliverability is poor. So for declining open rates, that will signal that your emails are not reaching the inbox and being filtered to spam or the promotions folder. Promotion folder is a bit harder to avoid as a spam folder, because obviously the ESP or ISP algorithms are quite sophisticated, so it is quite harder to sidestep the promotions tab on Gmail. Increasing bounce rates, right? This can indicate that there's issues with the email list quality, so you might have a lot of dead subscribers in your list, or you have problems with your sending domain's reputation. So your sender domain reputation, think of this as if it's let's say a credit score for sending out emails. That's essentially it. As simple as that. And the better deliverability you have, the better sender reputation you have. Low click rates, that can obviously indicate that your emails aren't engaging. They might be relevant, and relevancy is quite an important thing, because relevancy is going to dictate whether someone is going to open or click your email. For example, if you have never been to the website before and you start getting emails saying that you've abandoned, you've abandoned checkout, or you're being reminded about a product that you were looking at, that's not relevant because the person wasn't on the website. Now, that's just a random example, probably wouldn't happen, but hopefully that kind of illustrates a way in which the content isn't relevant. Or, for example, if you have a fashion brand and you have both male and female clothes, and you're sending female products, like images of female products, to male customers, that's not relevant. So therefore, those customers may mark it as spam, they may unsubscribe, which will diminish your sender reputation. High spam rates, this is probably one of the most important things to look out for, because spam is much more serious than an unsubscribe, and spam will affect your sender reputation a lot more than an unsubscribe. So it's really key that you try to be very careful with your spam rates. High unsubscribe rates, that just means that your emails probably again aren't relevant to the audience, or you're sending too frequently. Now, if you open up your Klaviyo or your email marketing account and you're seeing something that looks a bit like that, you know that you have poor deliverability. You shouldn't be getting below 20% open rates, even 30% nowadays, because they're inflated anyway. Ideally, you should be aiming for 40% plus open rates. Now, here are some general guidelines to follow on your deliverability metrics that might help as a general rule of thumb. And feel free to screenshot this. If you want, this guide will be available down in the description. So just click the link in the description and you'll be able to access this guide. But this is a good benchmark to follow. And okay, if my open rate is less than 10%, you're in serious trouble. To be honest, these days, I think that if your open rate is less than 30%, you still have a lot of work to do. So in that scenario, if your open rates were, let's say, below 30%, what I would do in that case is I would tighten your engaged segments. So Send primarily to people who have opened or clicked an email within the last 7 to 14 days. Build up the sender reputation. Make sure that your emails are hitting above 40% open rates for at least 2 weeks, and then start opening up your engaged segments. And by opening up, I mean moving from 7 or 14 days to maybe 30 to 60 days. Now, here are some best practices to maintain good deliverability. Right? We have technical practices, we have behavioral practices. First of all, the technical practices, the foundational stuff, includes having a dedicated sending domain. So you can set this up easily in Klaviyo. Just drop a comment below in the comment section if you need any help with some guidance on this. Making sure that DMARC records are set up for the domain, and make sure that you're aware that DMARC records are not set in Klaviyo or in your email service provider like SendLane or Klaviyo. These are set in your DNS records or in your domain settings on wherever you bought your domain. So for example, GoDaddy. And make sure that your email sender name matches the domain name. So for example, if you were sending emails for Nike, you don't want the sender name to be John and then the domain to be Nike.com. You want to make sure that the sender name is Nike and the domain is Nike.com. So a lot of brands might do this just to try and increase open rates. For example, they might use some funky names in the sender name and it doesn't match the domain name. It's a lot stricter now, so you need to be really careful with this. So make sure that they are obviously matching each other. In terms of behavioral practices, right? So this is just kind of the behavioral stuff that you're doing within the emails itself. You should avoid sending to the list regularly. Sorry, the entire list, I should say. So don't be sending to all contacts in your database, because there's going to be a lot of people who are unengaged there. They mightn't have opened an email in quite some time, and you're just going to destroy your email account. Using images with heavy file sizes, so try to keep them below 300 kilobytes. Using capitalization emojis too much, excessively. Same goes with links. Sending too many emails as well. I'm a big advocate, and I've actually even made a separate YouTube video about hypothetically sending emails to your list every single day without annoying your customers, but this is done carefully through segmentation. So don't just fire out emails, let's say 20 a month, and it's all going to the same people, all to the same segment. You should be splitting that up between buyers and non-buyers, VIP customers, and other various different segments as well. Last but not least, here in the behavioral practices, is not excluding the correct segments. So you need to be making sure that you're excluding the correct segments. Klaviyo, or like the likes of any ESP, they don't get it right all of the time. So you need to make sure that you're excluding bounce contacts, people who are suppressed, people who marked as spam, unsubscribed, and in general unengaged contacts. Now you'll also want to be cleaning your list as well, and generally there's two ways to actually do this. You can set up a sunset flow where it semi-automatically does it for you, or you can create unengaged segments. Now you'll have access to the links to these different guides, based like their Klaviyo guides. This will be down in the link in the description, so access that if you want to give those a read. Now I have another YouTube video about a scenario where you have low open rates and what to do based off of that. So feel free to check that out. I think it'll be very, very valuable. And also the video that I was speaking about a while ago, how to hypothetically email your list every single day, because I am an advocate of maximizing the volume that you're sending as long as you can do it carefully. And that video should teach you all of that. So I think that pretty much wraps up the video. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. I hope you found this video useful, and I will catch you on the next one.